Welcome to my first ever raw video on this channel. The reason I'm making this channel is because I have a calling internally that I want to start providing value to people purely in a raw form. Okay? I have another YouTube channel, and if you guys want to check that out, the link will be in this bio. But to get into this video, the reason I'm talking about the idea of making raw videos is because the way YouTube works is you want to max out your retention so you can get more reach. Now, your retention is essentially how much people watch the entire video. So if you have bad retention, that means people watch a few seconds and then leave. If you have really good retention, then people stay. When people stay and your average view duration is higher, then YouTube thinks, oh, this is a good video, let's throw it out to more people, AKA, let's give more reach. And that is how you go viral. That is how you make a viral piece of content. It's very similar with Instagram, TikTok, and all these platforms. As of today, I currently have 125,000 followers on Instagram, 3,500-ish followers on TikTok, and 23.5K on my main YouTube channel. I'm really happy about this progress considering that 6 months ago, I didn't even have that Instagram account up. My YouTube was below 500. I think it was probably at like 250 subscribers. And my TikTok, I think I was just making my TikTok. So I made a lot of growth. And in the past 3 months, to give you more detail, I probably had less than 500 on Instagram. I had maybe 2,000 on TikTok. And on YouTube, I had 400, okay? So I made massive growth, and that's a whole story in and of itself. I actually just started this video not even knowing what I was gonna talk about. But it ended up being about the idea of retention, the idea of how to go viral, the idea of making this account. This is really the introduction video because my goal is I'm going to be making these every single day and around the same time. And I think it will be right here, but there's no rules to it. And that's why I'm making this video. That's why I'm making this account. Because to get back to the whole idea of retention, my goal on this account is not to max out retention. It's not. If it was, I'd be editing these clips, I'd be adding background music, I'd be putting in captions, I'd get like some crazy awesome thumbnails, which I still might get the thumbnail just to get people to get on the video. It doesn't really affect the retention, so to speak. And I would script this shit out just so there's no fluff in it. And I would also be conscious of the content I have in these videos. And I would have like a structure to it to increase retention. But if you're still watching, thank you. And I can tell you are the kind of person I want to connect with on this channel. Because I want to connect with people who are actually interested in what I have to say, in my backstory, in my life, in my guidance, in my mentorship. I'm not interested in just simply talking to people who have a very low attention span and can't get to 3 minutes of a video like this. So welcome. If you're here, you're at the 3-minute mark. And I'm really, really happy you've listened to me so far. I hope you've already learned something in what I said. Because one big idea, and I guess this will be the main idea of this video, is you need to start making content. I don't care what you do in this world. Whether you're studying to become an engineer, whether you want to be a lawyer, whether you're just in college and you have no idea what to actually do for your degree, whether you've been working in a corporate company for over 10, 12, 20 years or so, whether you don't believe in yourself, whether you believe in yourself, whether you want to make music, whether you actually want to become a soccer player, whatever the dream, whatever you think your destiny and your purpose is, you should make content. This is probably the #1 message, and I'm glad this became my first video, that I would have given to myself if I was younger. So if I was talking to myself 10 years ago at 15, today, as the making of this video, I'm 25, I just turned this in about 1 month ago. If I was talking to myself at 15, #1 thing, make content now. No, don't complain. Don't talk about your insecurities. Don't talk about why you can't make the content. Don't tell me all the reasons you shouldn't. Don't tell me why you think it's gonna be better if you start next year. Don't tell me why you think you should start next week. All excuses. All of them. I've heard everything. How have I heard everything? Because I've had these excuses myself, internally. This is why I didn't make content when I was 15. I looked up to YouTubers since I was like 10. I grew up in the age of YouTube booming. So when I was a little kid and I had massive dreams, one of the things that became my dream is I've always wanted to be a YouTuber. I've always wanted to. I've always. But if that's the case, if I wanted to make YouTube videos since I was like 8 or 9 or 7, why did I start only last year at 24? Well, technically, let me erase that part, because actually I made my first YouTube video at about, I think I was 22. This was about 4 years ago, okay? What happened is I made a YouTube video with a completely different niche, with a completely different style than the ones you'll see on my main channel. And I made that because I wanted to be a YouTuber. And I started making these videos and I felt really happy about myself. I finally took action at 22, right? And then eventually I dropped off and I stopped making these videos. But then I came back to making the videos with a different focus, something more aligned with who I really am, right? And now I'd argue that this video is the most aligned video to who I am I have ever made. And I'm really happy about that. I feel very, very happy, grateful, present. And let me explain to you guys what presence is, a real quick side note, because if the reason I'm bringing this up right now in this moment is because I believe this to be one of the biggest mindsets, biggest mentalities you need to adopt as a man, as a woman. The way you achieve presence, which is the ultimate goal of life, is through being on your purpose. When you are on what you know you should be doing, deep down, and you're doing that, you become present. This is the key to unlocking the presence. When you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, your mind is loud. Your conscious is speaking to you. Maybe not even in that very moment, but right after, it's gonna talk to you at some point. It's gonna sit down with you like an angry father and tell you why you shouldn't have done the actions you've done. And vice versa. When you do the things you should be doing, your mind is more quiet. You feel calm. Your body's more engaged. Your heart is more open. And after the action, you sit down with this father. It's really just you. It's really your higher self. It's many things you could talk about, man. You can replace this word with higher self, the future you, your inner coach, God, the universe, consciousness, collective consciousness, a higher power of any sort, anything. But when you're speaking to that father, when you're speaking to that person who you admire, who you look up to, who you listen to, and you're sitting down with them and they're speaking to you about the action you just took, but this time it was the right action, you feel pride. And it's not a bad pride. It's not a harmful ego. It's not a bad ego. It's a good sense of pride. It's gratitude. It's feeling proud of the actions you took. It's wanting to spread this feeling to others because you know how it felt to make the wrong decisions, and now you know how it feels to make the right decisions. And that's all life is, a series of decisions that you want to make. And the better the decision, the better you feel, and the worse the decision, the worse you feel. It's really that simple, okay? You need to understand these principles. The principle of you become present through being on your purpose. What is being on your purpose? It's making the correct decision that's in alignment with you, your soul, who you are deep down, not what you think society wants you to be. Not that. That being said, sometimes these things do kind of align with each other. Sometimes. And that's beautiful if it does. But a lot of the time, society will not align with exactly what you want to be. And really, that stems back to my story about YouTube. When I started making the content when I was 22, or actually, better said, when I was 9, why did it take me so long to make my first YouTube video at 22? Why did it take me 13 fucking years to make my first YouTube video? That is because society made it seem like being a YouTube star, being a YouTuber is this crazy thing that's very hard to do, that's amazing, and you need to be this very charming, interesting personality to do this thing. And if you've ever told anybody you want to be a YouTuber, everyone they just look at you, and whatever they say, you feel that energy of doubt. Don't take this energy personal. It's not that they want you to feel doubt. It's simply that they doubt they can do it. And since they doubt they can do it, or they have doubted they can do it, even that, they're spilling out that energy to you. It's not in their intention necessarily. So don't take it personal. But just understand that's what's happening. Which means it's not saying anything about you. Anyone could have told that person that, and they would have still spread the doubt onto you. Of course, the degree changes based on how much they believe in you. But no matter what, they have that doubt, man. So when I will tell people about YouTube and all this stuff, no one was like, yeah, YouTube is amazing. You need to do this, drop out of high school, don't do anything, just make videos every fucking day. You got this. No one said that. And you can't expect people to say this. You can't expect that. But guess what? I'm gonna say this. So if you're watching this is me telling you to make a YouTube channel. And what do you do for your first video? Sergio, but I don't know what I should make my YouTube about. Should I make it about my soccer habit? Should I make it about my music? Should I make it about motivation like you? Should I make it about dating? Should I make it about blah, 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 blah? Here's the thing. Here's my advice. Make it about what you want to make it about. If I told you, hey, talk as long as you can for an X period of time, what topic would you pick? What topic is the easiest for you to speak on? You thought of it? That one. Oh, Sergio, but people might think this is weird. No. It's okay. It's okay, dude. I understand. And that's the funny part. Typically, the topic that you are most passionate about is something you don't believe you can talk about on the internet. Let me explain to you why that is. The reason that is because you know deep down that this topic shows your true self. And you feel like you're not ready to show the world your true self. And here's my advice. You will never be ready. Not until you take that first action. And guess what? Once you take that first action, you're gonna sit down with that mental father, that mental person you look up to internally, and that person will be proud of you. And you will be proud of yourself. I promise you that. I promise you. So that's my advice. I want you to make a YouTube channel. I don't want you to overthink it. No, you don't need fancy equipment. All you need, you know what I did for my first YouTube video? All I had was an iPhone. Not this really nice new iPhone. I had an older one. And that's it. That's literally it. I had an iPhone. All you gotta do is grab an iPhone. Oh, Sergio, but what about a tripod? How do I put my phone? Where should I put it? What about lighting? Yo, the lighting, first of all, the lighting is not a massive fucking deal for your first video, okay? But here's a nice tip. Put your hand up, move it around, and see how certain areas of your hand have more shade than others. Once you find the area that has the least shade, that is the angle in which you want to face the camera. So what's funny is this camera is actually not at the perfect angle. And I'm figuring that out right now, but it's no big fucking deal, right? That's the point of this channel, is that nothing is a big fucking deal. Nothing. I get to do what I want because I want to show you guys the real me. So I can motivate others, so I can show others how to be the real you. That is my life purpose, by the way. If you're wondering what my purpose is, that's my life purpose. Be the real me, help and inspire and lead others to the real them. I want you to feel free. I want you to feel happy. I want you to feel present. This is what saved my life, this decision, and this is why I'm making these videos. So yeah, that's all you need. An iPhone. And yourself. That's it, man. You don't need a tripod. You can simply set it up somewhere, okay? You can put your iPhone and just get creative with this, okay? Just grab your iPhone. In fact, let me explain to you. This is how you're gonna make your first video. You're simply going to grab your iPhone and go to a place where the lighting is good, okay? Now you simply try to find a place to put your iPhone to lay against it. Doesn't have to have a perfect angle, okay? Don't get stressed out about this. Become creative. Become creative. If you have to, which this is what I recommend, you are going to set a timer on your phone where you promise yourself you're gonna focus on making this video for this amount of time. You're gonna put it on airplane mode. And then you just lock yourself in that room for an hour, 30 minutes, 20, focusing on that first video. How long should the video be? Doesn't matter. From here on, you are on your own. I was on my own. I gave you guys more advice than I had, honestly. Which I'm happy to. I'm really happy to. So, that's the point of this video, is to tell you guys how from 9 years old to 22, it took me all this time to make my first YouTube video. And the reason being is that society just pushes you against you being your true self in many instances. However, the day I made my first YouTube video, I felt intense passion, intense energy, intense happiness. And then eventually I fell off. So it's okay if you fall off. But the reason I fell off is because I wasn't truly passionate about what I was speaking about on these videos. And that might happen to you. You might pick a topic that you think is more societally acceptable, or your friends are gonna like it more, or girls will like it more. Then what's gonna happen is you're gonna eventually be like, I really wanna talk about this thing. So don't waste your time. Just do what I ended up doing when I was 24. I think, 24. Which is that I got back on YouTube after taking a hiatus, and I began speaking about what I was truly passionate about. My first video was titled, How to Stop Overthinking. Right? And now this is my first video on my Raw channel. The point of this channel, show you guys the real me, getting on deeper topics, having zero edits at all. And that concludes the first video. So if you learned anything from this, I'm happy, I'm grateful. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 2. Peace out.